All right. Hi, guys. This is the lecture that I did on Monday, I think the March 14th, something like that. So if you happen to be absent on that day, you're going to want to watch this. I went thoroughly through kind of this description here on the top. I went talking about a lot of hot dogs, grilled cheese, and the basic idea behind the whole thing was that, well, for if you've got one hot dog bun and one hot dog wiener, you're gonna get one hot dog. However, even though you might have 16 hot dogs, if somebody only brings 12 hot dog buns, are you gonna get 16 hot dogs out? No, you're not. You can only get 12 hot dogs. You are limited by the hot dog buns. It doesn't matter how many hot dog wieners you've got because you're limited by the number of buns you have. Anyway, so I went into this rather thoroughly on Monday. I'm not going to do it so much here. You can read through this on your own, and I think you'll probably get it. But what I do want to show you is how do we actually use this in chemistry. Let's look at this reaction right here. This is when hydrochloric acid and calcium hydroxide reacts. It makes calcium chloride and water. This is the actual antacid. If you take an antacid for your stomach because you have heartburn or something, what it's actually doing, it's neutralizing the hydrochloric acid that's in your stomach. But let's just go ahead and analyze this problem and see how it's different than the ones that we've already been seeing. Let's say it says how many grams of water, okay, so that's what we're looking for, that's what we're going to try to get to, are made when you have 0.656 grams each of hydrochloric acid and calcium hydroxide. So you can see already right now there are two reactants that we're going to have to do. So this means you're going to have to do two of these mass problems twice over. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what are we starting with? We're starting with 0.656 grams of hydrochloric acid. We're also starting with 0.656 grams of calcium hydroxide. Okay, so first step in any of these, whenever you start with grams, what do? We divide by the molar mass. So let's go ahead and get that step done. We've got 1 mole of HCl, and we have 1 mole of calcium hydroxide. Oh, that really is a hydroxide, I promise. Now we need to calculate the molar masses. Hydrogen is 1.01, chlorine is 35.45, so that is a grand total of 36.46 grams of HCl. Calcium hydroxide, slightly more complicated. Let's see, oxygen, we got 2 of them, so that's 32. Hydrogen, we got 2 of them, so that's 1.01 times 2, so that's 2.02. And then calcium is 40.08. Okay, so if you do all that together, I think you get something like, let's see, what do we get? 32, 74, 74.10 grams. All right. So now we've converted our grams into moles, but now we need to get moles of water because that's what we're trying to get to. So now we need a recipe step. All right, and we've got HCl. How many moles of HCl from our balanced chemical equation? 2. Okay, and how much water does that make? 2. Okay. Next step, let's do for the same other equation. We've got calcium hydroxide, which is just 1. And again, 2 moles of water. All right, so we've got 2 problems here. We're kind of working on the same simultaneously. At this stage of the game, we would multiply by the molar mass of water to get to grams of water. You can either do that, you can go ahead and add in your conversion unit and go ahead and multiply by the molar mass, which is 18.02 of water, because that's what we're going to try to get to. All right, and you could find both of them, and then whichever is the least amount, that's how much is produced. So you can go through and do that, or if you don't want to go through the rigmarole of doing that twice, you can actually, I'm going to take all that away, you can actually go ahead and do the math now. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do the math now. We can cancel that out, 2 over 2. And that makes it pretty easy. It's 0.656 divided by 36.46. All right, and we get 0.0180 moles of water. And from this one here, we're going to do 0.656 times 2 divided by 74.1. And we get 0.0178. Okay, so which one of these produces the least amount of water? Well, the calcium hydroxide does. So that means the calcium hydroxide is limiting how much water is made. It doesn't matter how much HCl. You might have 8,000 grams of HCl. It does not matter because you're still only going to be able to get out 0.0178 moles of water. Okay? So now is the problem asking for moles of water? No, it's asking for grams. So now we can go ahead and throw in this next step of multiplying by the molar mass of water to get to grams. And so I'm going to go ahead and take 0.0178 times 18.02, and we get 0.321 grams of water. And so that's how much is produced. It's not going to be based on the HCl because, again, you have excess of that. You only have so much calcium hydroxide, so that's known as a limiting reagent because it limits the amount of water that you can make. All right, so what I'd like for you to do now is on the worksheet that says limiting reagent percent yield, do 1, 3, and 5, and you're going to do the same over. You're going to do a problem for each reactant. Whichever produces the least amount is your limiting reactant, and that's your answer. That's how much you can produce. So go ahead and do that. Once you're finished with that, there is a key on the back of the door. So you can check those, see how you're doing, and then once you get finished with that, you can go ahead and move on to the percent yield tutorial and do 2, 4, and 6 from that. So you have stuff to do. I hope you get caught up okay, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks.